trying to figure out the new store was coming in at the mall, and I never...
Alright, so
this is road tripping with two fat guys in a Subaru. Take one.
Yeah. Well, I actually could tell because it'll show on there. Anyways, so I'm driving, so if you guys, I'm going to do my best in, like, editing I'll probably just cut all that out. It's saying all that. No, it's been probably like 3 months since I've last done a podcast episode. And I'll be honest with you guys, trying to talk to yourself about stuff is extremely difficult for more than 30 minutes. Because you don't really, it's one thing if I'm like, oh, I'm talking about one certain subject which I can ramble on about, like say a toy.
Holy shit, look at those places. Wow.
A toy for like 20-30 minutes, and then I cut it down to like 15 or 12. But like when you're trying to like, oh, we're going to talk about this, and now we're going to talk about this, and now we're going to talk about this, it's like unless you have somebody and then to bounce the opinion off of, or have an I don't want to say argument, but have an argument or discussion about said thing, it makes it extremely difficult. And people that can do podcasts
have a passionate discussion.
Yeah, people that podcast by themselves for 2 hours, my hat's off to you, because I can't do it. Can't do it.
I could probably talk to myself for a good hour about just about everything and anything. It may not make sense because it'll be a one-sided conversation.
Yeah, so we are... I don't know what episode this is going to be because I didn't look and I forgot. But today I have Mr. J with me in the car. We are recording this in a car, so as I said, if there's like... I'm going to do my best to edit it out if there's any humming.
And I'm going to do my best to say at least 20 to 30 ums every 5 minutes.
I can edit all that out.
I don't think it's a good idea to edit out all the okay? So,
yeah, right. So I have AI to do that for me. So, no.
AI is the best.
AI is the best.
We love you, AI overlords.
No, so like,
We should fly?
We should fly. No, okay, so you've heard, guys have heard Mr. J before, and because we've done episodes before where we talked about like toy collecting. I think we did that one where we talked about like storage.
Yep.
Okay, we did the storage one.
Here's the funny thing: I've now looked since I've lost a friend, I guess, and that's not the real reason that you got bent out of shape, because we decided to go on our road trip, and I already told him I had plans. But I posted on Facebook that, hey, I was getting a 3D printer, and then the next day they decided to post a somewhat vague, if you didn't know what was going on, post. But
sometimes you think people are your friends, and then
yeah. And
so how do you deal with people like that? Because that can happen in all kinds of things. Like, it's happened to me multiple times, like, especially, like, in the collector space. Like, they just, like, they'll just hate on your... They'll say, oh, I don't like the fact that, like you
have a bunch of Power Rangers that are whatever.
I collect super robots. That's what I collect. When I was, like, sitting down and looking at my collection...
Finally, 80 miles.
And going... Well, it's not 88. Thinking about, because then we don't know where we'll end up.
Or when we'll end up.
Or when we'll end up. I haven't, like, I was like, where's my collection? Like, because I was at a point...
Like, some of it's in your bedroom, and some of it is in your living room.
Well, yeah, that's the only way I can do it, you know?
Some of mine is still sitting in boxes, sitting in little plastic totes. Oh, wait, Helen, I need to get back quick to the... that person's going fucking slow.
Yeah, I know.
Speed up, jerk.
And I can't get over because there's cars coming.
Anyways, I first bought a resin printer, which I thought it was cool, and it ended up for me, and like keeping it at my sister's place, all my nieces can kind of keep an eye on some prints I'm doing, and that they can print stuff that they want as well, which, I don't care. My own niece buys their own filament, and, but anyways, I bought a resin printer, and is this like one I saw? This is cool. I'm gonna buy this because it was like one of the cheaper ones. And let me tell you, resin printer is not what a beginner should get into. We had some cool prints. I was able to make some Mandalorian.
You do filament now, right?
Yes, I do filament now. Still have the first filament one I got was a Creality something, and now I have a bamboo PS1. Found it at Best Buy. Spent all taxes included, close to $600, about $585, something like that. And so far, I had a couple prints that didn't come through. One I was printing yesterday was a Cyclops visor, and something happened with like the filament not going through how it's supposed to, and I wasn't at my place to check it. And for me, it's just fine because I said that my niece would get it looked at. Anyway, I found someone on Maker's World that actually had what was like little foot lockers to where it was big enough. You could actually put like a G-classified Star Wars Black Series, Marvel Legends, and there was a little tray on top that you could put like the extra hands, the accessories. And I thought, God damn, if I had seen that back when or if I wouldn't have, because I have a lot of like photo totes or something from Michaels, and they work great. I put in one row could be bottom row was like maybe up to 10 figures depending on their size. Then I have some like foam I put in between that row. I mean, it's paint rubbing all that stuff, but yeah, I got the idea from a channel called Robo Don't Know. I don't know if anyone saw Robo and Veeps. You guys are awesome. Anyways, he had, but he didn't put the foam in there. I had some foam from something else, and it actually works pretty well. I mean, like I said, I Toka and Razor from my NECA collection. It could fit in there, but I couldn't get much more else, so they sit on top, and there's enough room where I put the lid on a tote. Because I put like the cases, get filled up with figures, and I have them labeled the best I can, like who's in there. Be it like for my NECA, it's like Soto Turtles, the 90s Turtles, and stuff like that. And it worked well, but like I said, if I had known about something like those, I could have been printing a bunch of those, but again, not every figure I have would fit in there.
Right. Yeah, I also use I think it was like, chronologically, I think it was episode 2, because it wasn't in the order that we recorded, because we originally were doing a toy discussion show, but then I think at the time I was working days, and so it kind of
it got hard for us to get
together, and then I was like, maybe the podcast thing is not going to work, and then we went to a con last year, SuperCon, and I mean
we sat in on a Ming Chen's. He was talking about podcasting, and he started it. Oh, sorry, MajinPlanet.
I did it out.
Jeff here.
My name is Jeff. No, so yeah, and it was a lot of insight. You don't have to edit everything out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit that out, but yeah. But so and it got me motivated for a couple of months, and again our times weren't lining up because I was working nights again, but I just was I didn't have the motivation, and it's one of those things if I don't have the motivation to make content, I'm not gonna do it. Because then I just make subpar content. It's not good.
That's not a bad thing to Because if you got hey, we're going to a place a couple hours away. We carefully name it.
Yeah,
we're going to Sioux City. We got a manager we both work with are kind of cool. Well, he's probably slightly more cooler than I am with him, but I made $20 off the guy. For a Iron Spider Magic the Gathering card.
I think I made 90. I sold him my
I thought I was going to set up a deal all right, he'll sell you the card, but I need $90 for it.
No, I said I had an extra one, and he said he would be interested to buy it, and I didn't know what the price would be because I was it's sealed.
Like I said,
because it came out. So I think it was 2000. It was what year did the original Pokemon game come out? Was it 2000? The one where where Pikachu or Ash jumped in the way of Mewtwo's blasts. And then that what changed Mewtwo's. Where Mewtwo took all the trainers to his island and shit.
Yeah, it's probably 2000 or
99, 2000. And so with every movie ticket, they gave you a card. And at the time, my mom and my brother went to the movie theater, and I want to say it was a Regal Cinema. It's closed now, and this was in Las Vegas, Nevada, because that's where I grew up. Don't mind saying that, because I don't live there anymore. But we went there.
Because his brother.
Yeah, my brother still lives there. And so anyways, so we were cool with some of the staff, to the point where we'd go in and we would buy a movie ticket, and then we'd go to see we spend the whole day there.
It's actually funny
watching 4 or 5 movies.
I used to work with a guy at the web who had 3 jobs. He was paying off a house, which is really super weird. But hey, man, he paid his house off really quick. But he used to work at Carmike Theaters that we used to have in town. Gone. I don't know if it still exists elsewhere. But it was around the Yuki movie came out, and I don't know if I had taken that little cousin to see it, and I don't remember. Remember saying something about it, and you guys asked, hey, if you want some stuff recorded?
No.
go back and remember everything I was
No.
blathering on about. Anyways, so yeah, he came in and it came in like the next night or whatever, and it gave me like a bunch of the cards.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what happened with me. Like I came in and we bought a ticket, and then we went and bought it. I went to go see it again. My brother wanted to see it again, so we went to buy another ticket, and he was like, "Oh, you guys just want the cards?" I'm like, "Yeah." So they just gave us all the cards. So every time we went,
did not use their turns like no.
every time we went, we just got the cards. So I ended up. My brother had a set, I had a set, and my mom had a set, and eventually they all came to me. And so I did open a couple of them, but I do still have a couple that were sealed. And I think they'll think that they had like the markings on it that said Pokemon the movie or something on it, like engraved on the card. Because I have like I think one's a Pikachu. I think one was like an Electric Buzz or something like that. But anyways, but there was also one that was the Ancient Mew card. It's basically like in the movie, they had the ancient carving of Mew, and that's what the card is basically. And it actually it's not tournament legal because it, one, doesn't have any text on it, and two, the back of the card I think was actually like a special backing for that card. And so I have three of them. I had two sealed and one open because I had one opened. My brother opened his. And I told him I had one, and he was like, "Oh, how much you want for it?" And I was like, "I don't even know how much it goes for." I mean, I think the last time I checked, which was like probably like 8 or so years ago, I was seeing it for like $20, and I think he found it for like I want to say 90. It was probably $90, or it was like $80 or something like that. And it might have been more. I think it was more than that. No, it was 60. It was $60, and he offered me 80 because it's sealed. I was like, "Yeah, sure, okay." So then I brought it and everything. So
he was telling me that I was telling him I was going to bring it in, and then he said, he goes, "Yeah, I'll give you $20 for it." He goes, "All right, cool." And so I was telling Rick, I didn't
edit that out again. It's okay.
Telling him
this is the way.
Anyways, he said, I was telling me, I was texting him, and he shared with you. And he said, I was talking to my brother, and I wasn't going to tell him that, I was just going to give him like $5. But I thought, I was telling MP here, like, I'm not here to make money off the damn thing. I wanted the figure. I listen about the card. You're not going to edit out the shit, are you?
No.
Oh, shit. Anyways, so I told him
TVMA.
So I told him, I told him I just basically did a quick Google search. I said, what's the card going for? And I think the Google AI or whatever it says I do basically says the figure itself is a little more rare than the others.
It was the hint, right?
Yes, and basically it goes for like 40 to 50. And I told him here, it's like, yeah, I'm not looking for that. I'm like, whatever he thinks is fair. And I was like, yeah, $5. Whatever, that's $5 more I got.
Yeah, you got 20, so you basically paid for the figure almost. What was the figure, $20?
No,
60?
GameStop is about between 45 and 50, something like that.
So you got about half of that.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. I mean, yeah. So yeah, so it's funny because like I hear like chatter about like people don't toy hunt anymore. Well, that's because there ain't nothing out there anymore.
Well,
and for me. Like I was saying earlier about like my collection, like, I decided, I like giant robots. So I was like, well, there's nothing really new for Transformers coming out. I mean, there are some stuff that I want, but I don't want to pay $400 or $500 for it right now. So either just wait until some new
third party, larger scale stuff.
Well, they're masterpiece scale. Magic scale, and then the other scale I do is the Legend scale, which is, I guess you can equal it to core. They're a little bit taller than core class figures. Just a little bit taller.
So then me and people that, I give you shit about that just because it's like, another knockoff type thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so. But no, I told you, like, I like Transformers. I was like sticking with Studio 86. And
I actually do own it's funny though. Well,
technically I have a knockoff too, the Pumpkin Cell Unicron.
That's not Unicron. You can't say that. We'll get in trouble. No, I'm just kidding. No, so what's funny about third party...
They'll have to find me first.
What's funny about third party Transformers, and I've read some articles and I've seen some videos where people have talked about, like, why hasn't Hasbro, or better yet, Takara, shut them down? And they've been going on, from my understanding, for a long time. Like, even back, I guess, as far back as, like, 2012, they were basically making Chug figures. Like, saying, oh, hey, I really wish I had a Power Glide for my collection. But Hasbro hasn't made one. So they made one. Here's a Power Glide. But then they eventually shifted to Masterpiece, so then they started making, First it was, oh, we're gonna fill the gaps. Takara hasn't made, they haven't made this character yet, so we're gonna make that character. And then it slowly shifted into like, well, we're just gonna make who we want now. And so now they're making like, Optimus, and then, Megatron, and then Soundwave, and et cetera, et cetera. And Hasbro has never gone after them. Or even Takara is in Japan, right?
I think so.
They're in Japan, and a lot of the stuff, well, I guess the stuff's China, so maybe that's why they don't do anything about it. But it comes to a point that, like, once a market has been created to the point, Hasbro would not be able, even with Takara on their side, would not be able to shut down third party. Because if you go after one, you have to go after all of them. You have to go after all of them at one time. And then you also have to go after all the real, like Big Bag Toy Store. Probably I would say arguably one of the biggest, like, online, like, realtors. Distributors, what I was looking for, of toys. Like, they just don't sell Transformers, they sell everything, like NECA, Super 7, I think McFarlane too, right?
Yeah,
basically everything.
If it's an action figure of some sort, they will sell it.
They sell statues, they sell plush, they sell everything.
Yeah, that's themselves.
They'd have to go after them too, because they also sell third-party toys. Third-party Transformers.
However, they call them by what the third-party company. They don't say the DNA kits. They don't say, oh, here's a DNA kit for...
They do. For the DNA kits, they do. I think the DNA kits are a little different.
They do. They actually, because even the DNA kits will sit there and say it's for, like...
Studio Series Optimus Prime.
Oh, no, I've actually seen the ones where they come up with a weird different name for... Like a DNA kit for SS187 or something.
The actual number.
Yeah, they might put the number, but that's not actually called the figure. And they'll actually show pieces, then they'll show them like attached, but then they'll say, figure not included, which basically.
So what's funny is, like, you're saying, like, with that, like, that's, I guess you could argue that, like, oh, that's how they get around it, is they say, oh, that's not Optimus Prime, that's Truck Hero. But you look at it and you go, the thing about third party is like, they're not like, oh, they're not taking, like,
they're not hiding the fact that they know who they're knocking off. But
that's what I was getting at, because it's interesting, because
if you go with Hot Rod or whatever, you go like Flame Bird or whatever.
I'm trying to think what they call that Rodimus Prime now.
Not
Carrier. They called him Carrier.
It'd be even funnier.
Yeah, it's called DX9 Carrier.
Yeah, it'd be even funnier if they decided to call them not. Yeah.
There are some YouTube reviewers that do that. They'll say, "Hey, this is a review of a third-party transformations of not Optimus Prime." I've even done that too.
I actually when I watch his weekly rewinds Saturday mornings, Saturday afternoons, whenever I get up I'm getting off work and getting up. Anyways, I'll watch it and he'll actually sit there, say the name, then he'll joke around and he goes, "Oh, come on, we know this is not Batman."
Oh, right, yeah.
He's talking about some of the, I can't remember what it was. I think the one where he's talked about them a few times where they've actually changed their names different times for whatever reason. And they do basically, they did a Superior Spider-Man, but then they called it Superior Neighbor. They did like a...
They don't have the Marvel license to actually call it Spider-Man.
No, basically they do like Friendly Neighbor or whatever.
Yeah, your friendly neighbor, dude. But what's interesting though, so, and a lot of people have this discussion about like knockoffs, like not like, here's the thing. I've seen comments and I've seen videos and discussion forums where people have said, oh, like a figure comes out, right? And they say, oh, I'm just going to wait for the knockoff, right? Because the knockoffs are usually cheaper. Because what happens is usually like, oh, hey, I'll just say Minosaur was that Legacy. Was it Legacy Minosaur or Power of the Primes? It doesn't matter, but...
Talking about the one that...
The one Hasbro just did.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think it was Legacy. So they released a Legacy Minosaur. And we'll just say they did. I think they did eventually release it as a 5-pack or whatever.
Yeah.
But let's say they didn't release it individually. They released it as a straight 5-pack, and they wanted say $550 for it, right? Which I think is about right? Because they got 2 deluxes, $35, a commander class for $100, and then two.
You're thinking of.
Silverbolt was like that.
No,
Silverbolt was a commander.
You're thinking of Devastator though.
No, the Devastator was like that.
Minosaur.
4 deluxes and a commander.
Yeah.
And the commander, I think, back then was $80. So $200.
I spent a little more. However, I got it before I actually saw it in stores.
I don't think I ever saw it in stores.
I seen it one time. Me and the meme. We're strolling through a Target. I don't remember which one it was. It's either the east side or the one of them. I go, oh, should they actually have M&M? I don't know if you're looking for it or not. And
yeah, I don't remember. But what's interesting is like, and so it comes out, and then a Chinese knockoff company gets a hold of it, and they basically reverse engineer it, and then they create the mold, and then they make it, and they sell it. Sometimes they will they'll call it like Road Champion or something, right? But a lot of times, like they don't, they try to, like, the box looks the same. They try to make it look like it's the official product, but it's not. Like they'll even go as far as like printing like all of the booklets and all that stuff, and that's a true knockoff, right? Because they're trying to steal the market, right? But and then the reason they can charge say the original is 200, they can charge like 100 or even 80 is because they don't have that overhead of the design, paying the designers, paying for like all that stuff. They don't have to do all that. But then you have third party where you have a person who designs his version of Optimus Prime. It's not exactly like Optimus Prime, like say G1 Optimus Prime, right? And then, or sometimes it looks exactly like G1 Optimus Prime. And then somebody else who's an engineers, takes the photo or the CAD image and then tries to figure out how to make it go from the robot to the truck mode and how to do all that thing. Now, of course, Hasbro does that too, but of course, Hasbro simplifies it. How many steps is Studio Series Optimus Prime? 87 steps? Or 50 steps?
He's still sitting.
They're usually 40
He's still
steps.
sitting in his box.
Oh, are you serious? Are you kidding?
I wish I were, sir.
Wow. Okay.
If you find it back to maybe 15 minutes ago, I said
of
a lot of my stuff's still in boxes. I'm trying. I've got that weird thing in my head, I'll do it tomorrow. And
Tomorrow never comes.
Oh no, tomorrow comes, and then it's just I'll do it. So I've got a few days off after today. Still, I'm going to start trying to unclutter my mind so I can unclutter my place and get the figures out. Because I've used some different photo storage to put the accessories in. So basically, like I said, I was kind of focusing on a Studio Series 6. I think I'm looking at it I go, there's so many coming out that. So I basically already got Thundercracker and the Coronation Starscream because I'm not going to buy a new model. But I say I got those two. Screw it. I'm going to buy. I'll get Skywarp. Then I've got the 3 jets, the Seekers. Got the Megatron. Got the Prime. I'm not. There's been a couple times I kept thinking because you get those deals through Target. It's like, oh, you get this much off of this, and they go,
oh, and get the INE edition or whatever they call it.
More than
mint. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took me that.
That meant.
Yeah, more than meets the eye.
Okay.
It's basically the buzzworthy because the cliff jumper coming out. I got the buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series 86 cliff jumper. I'm good with that.
Yeah. That's the thing about third party. They're not actually taking that studio. Well, actually, somebody did take that 86 Studio Series and knocked it off. That's a 1-for-1 knockoff. But sometimes they improve stuff. I bought I was like, oh, I wanted a Ironhide for the movie, right? A masterpiece version. I'm looking it up. You can't buy it in any retail stores anymore because that thing came out so long ago now. They're not making it anymore. And then so I look on eBay. Oh, well, I don't want to pay $700 for it. I'm not doing that. When you retail for $150, $175, I'm not doing that.
Oh, Bayverse?
Bayverse.
Okay.
Bayverse.
I'm not
sorry, Bayverse.
I'm not gonna lie. I did love his design.
I thought his design. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was really cool. Look. There's people out there that say, oh, G1 or G1 or bust. It's either G1 or bust, and they don't like Beast Wars. They don't like anything that came after season 3. I like all the Transformers.
I may not have seen all the Transformers, but guess what? I know it's just all the Turtle series that have been out. Hell, G.I. Joe, Transformers, anything comes out. They're trying to reach a new audience. So guess what?
Yeah.
Just because I'm not the audience doesn't mean that I'm thinking, hey, all right, cool. So because when Turtles 2 came out, we released it back in March, right? I kept.
Did we go see it?
Yes, we did.
Turtles 2?
Yes.
It already came out? Holy crap. I don't remember.
Yeah, because we walked in, missed a little bit of the
right, we did.
Anyways, but no, I see so many people saying like, I was only 2 when this first came out in theaters. I'm glad I could, I can see it my first time in theaters and bring my kids to it. And I said, I think there's last year when I saw the first 90s Turtle movie, 40th. God, I feel old. Anyways, I remember hearing kids talking, and like, okay, I don't care because I've seen this movie several times. Hell, I was like sitting there, I'm a couple rows between me and some other people. I was actually, quietly voicing the lines because I've seen it so many times. I can sit there and say, well, maybe they're not game show fans.
I own it on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital. And the reason I say DVD because I have like a folder, like one of those like old CD, it was an old concept CD folder, the old CDs.
Now, when you talk about compact discs, they used to have like music on them. You can make. Yeah. I'm old enough to remember mixed tapes. You can also
mix. Okay, so
also make CDs. Anyway.
And again, this will be on YouTube. It'll be on my comment. It'll be on Podbean, which will go out to all, whatever, Apple Music, all that stuff, Spotify for podcasting.
Shout out to Ming Chen if he listens.
Yeah, he's not listening.
You don't know that.
Don't know that. When I was growing up,
what you could do? You could put that in like the little things like Ming. If he's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Unless I go, oh, it's the
and then take that down.
Oh, it's the guys from last year, and where was that place I went to?
Yeah. So, which con was it?
What's actually funny is that he's going to be. I don't have told you he's going to be back this year.
He is going to be back this year. Anyways, so what's interesting?
Oh, and I found. So, do we want to do? See, now if we did the Boba Fett and Mandalorian thing again, we could. No, we'll have to be Jedi from the Republic era. The Republic credits you were talking about?
Yeah.
I'm going to print off a bunch of like people we know.
And like, here's some credits.
Yeah. How much is this?
So one movie.
We'll go to Starfighter, and if they have like one of their comics that are their graded comics, that's $200-$300, whatever. I don't know if they actually. I don't think they bring $3,000 comics to you.
Probably not.
I mean, if they bring one as sold, hey, good for them. But I ain't got $3,000 to spend on a comic book that I'll want to read, and then But yeah. Anyways, walk up since we know them pretty well. Because I did my 3D printed Matrix, and he's like, does it light up? And yes, it lit up. Unfortunately, we can't do that this year because even though in the War for Cybertron Kingdom or whatever series on Netflix, Megatron did have the Matrix.
It was on like not a chain, but it was like a strap. Strapped it on this time.
Bought it at damned...
Which is an opportunity. They should have released a figure like that.
Well, you can take the... Anyways, what was I talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's the credits. That way, since we know them, walk up there and he's like, we grab a couple things or figures, comics, whatever. He goes, oh, that's $100. Here you go. Drop a few credits. Yeah. What's this? The Republic credits.
Those are no good here. Republic credit, fine. Yes, we both did. They get moved. But yeah, no, like it's interesting because like I went and saw.
Okay, again, going off the topic again because it's okay because this is what we're known for. Or at least I'm known for it. Maybe I'm known for it. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, you can cut some of that out if you want. I don't give a fuck. You can cut that out too. Anyways, the one person that I don't know. I tried it once again to get that Decepticon ship. I can't think of the name. Yeah. Nemesis. I've tried telling him like, bro, all I got is $250. That's the last money I have. My last day here.
Oh no! Wasn't it signed?
No. That was the HasLab Hiss.
They had a couple labs there.
They had the Razor Crest too, and I'm like, it's one of the things like basically I did the Hiss. And I know the guy who did Voice Cover Command was the same with Voice Starscream, who's no longer with us, so he opted to sign it. But Destro and Baroness, those figures were included, so I'm like...
They don't...
They were... Anyways, but the Razor Crest, I know they had people from Mandalorian had signed it, but I'm like, the money they wanted for it, I was like, fuck no, because I want it for the ship, not the damn signatures. Anyways, I tried to do the whole thing where it's like, all I got is $250, which I did have a little bit more, but... Figured maybe we'll take the $250. No, they didn't want it, so I was like, yeah, whatever. There's this guy who did his own like custom lightsaber hilts. I mean, some of them looked enough like Star Wars, but they were slightly different, so copyright couldn't be done.
Well, they're not making like ones from the movie. And there's several companies that make.
Well, there are a few that looked pretty close, but I think they call them like a hero or villain. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to sit there and like. Dear Lucasfilm and Disney, this guy, and because anyway, they had like the chance dice, and I thought, oh, those are cool. That's $10. Buy them, kind of cool, Anyways, if they're there again this year, I might just as a joke walk up to them and go, "Hey, I'll take one of these," and then drop the credits. And
credits. Yeah.
if they're Star Wars fans, they'll get it, and then I'll just tell them, "Hey, no, it's cool. Just keep them."
Yeah, there's no gag. But yeah, no, like so I was looping it back.
You remember seeing?
Well, no, there was that, and then I'm gonna get stuck here.
You want me to go Ultra Magnus?
No.
In case anyone curious, that was actually Cyclonus that said it, not Scourge. People think Scourge said it because his head pops up.
Yeah.
It wasn't Scourge.
Yeah.
Anyways,
so because I wanted your opinion on this. It was in the back of my mind about the third party thing. So like I said, like it's the third party world. Like they're making their own designs. Like it's their own design. So they're not like actually saying, "Hey, we're gonna take like I'll just use."
Since we have time, do we want to?
On the way back, maybe.
Oh.
My thought is like they're not taking the design that Hasbro's put out themselves or Cars put out themselves, and then making a copy of it. They're making their own design, and they put their own name on. They put a different name on it, so it's not it's not Optimus Prime, it's not Megatron, and then another company then makes a knockoff of that. Is that technically was that a knockoff
Of a knockoff.
of a knockoff? But then again, is it really a knockoff if you're making your own design? Because there have been some designs that are just like for example, the Rodimus Prime I have is not a G1 Rodimus Prime. It's not a Rodimus Prime for any iteration of any Transformers they've ever done. It's their own like take on it.
Okay,
But it's close enough that you can look at it and go, "That's Rodimus Prime," but you can tell that it's stylized.
Or like your big boobed Black Arachnia RC and
there's
Windblade? Or is it Windblade?
well, so the Windblade is actually my design. Then the C is actually so they made a figure from it was Black Firebird. It's called Nicey.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind. I've seen the price. I've seen it means like.
So the Nicey.
Maybe I'm not looking in the right places.
The Nicey is a knockoff. Or no, sorry. So there's the Nicey one, and then there is the CDL one, which is the one you're talking about. That's a knockoff of that one.
Well,
but it's half the price. The original was $150.
I'm talking about the robotic boobs, not the ones where you can actually buy the actual breast piece.
No. I'm talking. That's the one I'm talking about.
I thought you had that with the Nicey one.
No, it's the knockoff.
I bought a knockoff of an original.
Because I couldn't find the original. Because the original was $125. It was sold out everywhere, and I'm not paying $200 for it. Now it's even more than that.
I paid like $60.
And then someone released a KO of it, and I was like, "Well, I'll buy the KO." And then so the thing with the Nicey was that they originally had it. They're originally shipping it with an RC head. That was the draw on it.
Yeah,
and then last minute,
one of the reasons I brought
minute they did not include it, and they didn't even make it available.
Like Pumpkin sell all the pictures you see of it, no matter where you see it shown.
Well, so that one was their own damn fault. Like let's release that would be.
No, what I'm saying is the fact that they had like the cone as its head.
Yeah, or like arms or whatever.
Technically, you didn't have to. They don't have the lights flashing.
Well, didn't want it to be like an undercover cop, and they got you, mother.
Yeah, your lights were flashing.
Yeah, your lights were flashing. Yeah.
No, but said the head though was actually shipped in another box that came with it.
Yeah, with the rings too. I think were also in the box. But yeah, no, it's
he's out of the box. But I also they're saying this that I did what I actually liked about him. I mean, at the time I had the money to buy, so I'm not going to complain about the price I bought it for on eBay.
Or now at retail price.
Anyways,
they're like $375.
What I do like is the fact that they actually have screw hole covers.
Yes, a lot of third party figures just like they put them on there, like they design them with the covers on there.
Oh, never mind. That's not a car. That's a sign.
But like now, here's the thing: when they announced the HasLab Unicron. I don't remember. I think at the time I was like, I don't have $600 plus tax because I was poor. Did not have $600. I probably could have done it. I probably could have put on a credit card and eaten it over the course of several years. But when they first showed it, I was like, that is freaking awesome. But then when they started showing they actually showed it. And I looked at it. I go, it's a shell former. You're trying to tell me that your best designers, and you need $600 for this. You need $600 It was $600, right?
So, yes.
It's like $600 or $599, whatever. Basically $600.
I believe they brought it back and around for like $650, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways, but
so they sold it for $600, and I think they needed 5,000 backers, 10,000 backers, whatever. So that's how much money, because they need that money up front so that they can produce it at that size and scale. But it's a shell former. I was like, and then at the same time, I think it was Zeta at the time. They were called Zeta, and then it got changed to Studio Cell because they released the images at the same time, mind you. Hey, we're doing a third-party Unicron.
Fucking Walmart truck. Fuck you, Walmart.
Anyways, so they released. It wasn't released. They announced it.
Hey, tell everyone I'm flipping off the Walmart.
He's off. And so, anyways. And so Hasbro sent them a cease and desist. Now, I don't know the timeline if the cease and desist was sent after the backing didn't. But here's the thing. I don't know if the HasLab Unicron failed because it's just a poorly designed figure, or if it failed because it was only open to US people. Or was it because of the third party one coming out? Because let me tell you something, the third party one's only like 3 meters. So it's half the size of the HasLab. Half the size. So it's about the size of, I think it's about the size, maybe a little shorter if you don't count the rings, than a standard Masterpiece third party combiner. So that being said, obviously, you guys know the story. They reopened the HasLab for another 30 days, but then they also opened it up to China and like Europe and UK and all that stuff for like pre-orders or ordering, and then it took off, and then it got funded. Okay, like I said, I could have got one. I could have done it, but I just didn't. I just like, you know what? If I'm going to pay $600, I might as well spend $300 for one that actually looks like Unicron, that's not a shell former.
Well, okay, actually, he wasn't the right color. It's the one I got, the pumpkin cell.
Well, that's the one I got too.
You got a pumpkin cell?
I got pumpkin cell. I got the exact. I think I sent you the link for it. Well, so the original was a little off-colored, and then of course, about a year later, I think it was almost a year later, honestly, that the HasLab was said and done. Then they came out. Then they brought it out as, like you said, like this funky-looking toy, and it was called Studio Cell. And then, like on Show Z Store, on the description, it said it would ship with a separate box, which included a special gift. That's what the listing said. And then, of course, when you got it, the special gift was the Unicron head with the rings, and I think it also had the covers. Because, like, when you transform it, some of the panels, like, the panels don't match. Because, like, the forearms are, like, gray or whatever. But you can switch them out to be, like, yellow. So that, like, when it's in planet mode, it's a cohesive planet mode. I will say this, and I think there was drama behind it, but there was a guy who 3D printed a kit that you could take off the shell, you could take off the parts off of the HasLab Unicron, and then you could have it in planet mode, and then also have Unicron, so you could have it next to each other. But there's like, you had to have like a special kit for it or something. And then I think there was some drama where the person like was giving it out for free, and someone took the kit, or took the files, and then was selling the kit. They actually printed it and sold it, and then the guy got upset about it, that no, this was meant to be free for people. But here's the thing, and like, this might be something like a topic for you, because you're more into the 3D printing world than I am. If somebody's offering something for free, like here's the files, and you don't have to pay anything for it, anybody can get those files, but then you're taking those files, and you're printing it, and you're painting it, and you're selling it for $50, is that really is that against the rules? Because you're doing the hard work for me. Like I don't have to buy a printer now and print it and do all that work. I'm paying you. It's like a convenience store. Like if you go to like say milk is like say $2, right, for a gallon at the grocery store. You go to a convenience store, it's $4. Why is it $4 at the convenience store? Because it's a convenience store. It's convenient. You're paying for the convenience. So is that like whatever they call it, like it's not adequate to do that? Like it's like an unwritten rule. Like you don't do that. You don't take someone else's free design and try to profit off.
I can't say for certain, because what I can say is it might be different. Let's say Okay, I've told you I found a file where I could actually print. I would have to upscale it because the guy had redone some of the prints and made it smaller. Because at one time I told you I think I was trying to make a Unicron head. It'd be cool just to have the head with the Studio Series 86 kind of floating up in the distance.
Oh yeah, like the movie, yeah.
Well, because I was like looking at it, and so I printed out a couple pieces, and it wasn't matching. So basically, I ended up because there's so much things about like you do like slicer, you mesh it into where I know how to make the heads scale things up. Like the Prime's blaster that I printed for you. Yeah. I printed the one that would only take a day and a half as opposed to like over 3 days. Because that one was 125% bigger, which would give you your big old gun. Like I said, it
also increased the weight.
Yeah, it would be. For me, I would like, all right, here, you buy me a couple of things of black filament or whatever color you wanted it printed in, and then yes, I'll print it. I've told you my niece, she has that,
right.
Where she says, if they give me $10, I'll, it'd be like they said, if you, for instance, like PayPal would be the money for like a file. Like, hey, I found this file for, because I've actually seen things for to like help with like stuff on like the Studio Series Megatron.
Like what parts?
Well, like parts to like the spacers where like you have like a space because of the way it transforms. And there's like the Grimlock, Studio Series Grimlock had it too, where people didn't like the fact that he had a top of his mouth had teeth, or one of the top.
Then it's not teeth on that side, yeah.
And so basically, yeah, there are files I could print that stuff.
Oh, like there was a 3D there was a DNA kit for
most of the Dinobots.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to think of what the fuck is a sludge. That's the Brachiosaurus.
Brontosaurus?
Where because there's that one scene.
Yeah, where he gets stepped on.
My Devastator, his eyes go boogie, and someone printed a 3D thing where you can put those eyes on him. I think actually they made it where he can actually pose like that too, right?
Well,
I actually could do that on its own.
The toy, you can move his legs, but as far as Devastator stepping on him, and there's going to be a bit more
difficult to do.
Because I was like talking about, I can print stands like there's no tomorrow for like my figures. So
I raised my hand, by the way. It's an audio platform. There's no video. Just like because the flight stands are expensive, man. I got one for my Johnny. I bought a set online. I think it was either a set of 2 or 3 off of Amazon. They're about how tall is a Marvel Legend figure?
Basically
5.5,
5.5 to 6.
5.5, right? So it's about 5.5 inches tall. The problem I have with it is that it works for like some of my Marvel Legend figures. Like I have, because like I'm kind of like, I decided just to get out of the Marvel Legend game. Like I'm not collecting Marvel Legends anymore. I might end up eventually selling off or saying, hey, this is what I have. Anybody's interested?
If anyone's interested, he does have a HasLab Galactus. Still in shipping box.
Yeah, I do have that.
He's asking for $599.99.
So I did set up the store on the website, and I did, like, as a test, I put it up. But, of course, you can't buy it because I have it marked as sold out. But I think I marked it at $800. Just double the price. Because I looked on eBay, looked at what the sold price was. And I did find a couple that were sold in the shipper boxes for, like, $840. Like, one was like $790 and one was like $880 to $800 with, like, I think, like, $45 shipping or something like that.
I was trying to see how long we were babbling on.
Oh. Anyways, so yeah, like I have this dilemma right now because like right now where I have my Marvel Legend figures displayed, because like I kind of have I have my Wolverine popcorn bucket, which I display that one. Not the inappropriate one, the one that just looks like a helmet. And then I have my Deadpool talking head, which I think the batteries are probably dead on it now. Probably should take the batteries out of it so it doesn't corrode. And then I have what Funko Pops I wanted to keep for Marvel, which is like maybe 10.
I know you had a Carol Danvers Captain Marvel one. At least I think I remember seeing that one there the other day.
Yeah, I do. So all I have left for Funko Pops is I have like maybe 10 or 15 Marvel or MCU. No, I think it's just a mix too.
I will flat out say.
And then I have a small display of Carol Danvers where I have like 10 Funko Pops. And then I have like a hot toy, and then I have like I want to say it's it's a Mezco figure of Captain Marvel, and then I have a couple pops that are out of the box, and that's it. And then I have my Dragon Ball ones, but they're all basic on the top, and most were they're just like it's 3 deep. And then I have a couple Funko Pops that are like out of the box, floating around, and that's it. So I probably have, honestly, I probably like 45 left. If I were to count it.
I actually, mostly my dad, but I painted them really weird colors too. I actually made shelves that would fit the Funko Pops in. If I could fit more.
What are you using those for now? For Funko Pops?
Oh,
you got rid of all of them, right?
Yes. Here's the thing. Took them to our local comic shops. I think we only have the one. And anyways, I knew they would basically give you like shit for them. Like
I sold some to them.
Anyway, like $5. And there's been times I would go in the store, just kind of look around and think. Here's the sad thing: if it's an older figure, they would have it on for eBay prices. Not like, hey, we got it for $35, but it goes, but no, they would straight up had it all their stuff for like. I don't agree with, but I would actually look at ones that I knew I brought in. I look at the price. Yeah, they're charging like $30-$40. Now again, I know it's a business. They might sit on them a little bit, kind of a thing.
I think Funko Pops. I think Funko Pops died.
No,
Funko Pops died for me when Endgame came out because I was like, I saw a Captain America figure. I was like, that looks really cool, and I was like, but I didn't get it because like at the time I didn't have the money or I wasn't looking at buying any more Funko Pops at the time. Or no, because like I was always waiting for sales. Like I go to Hot Topic and wait for like the buy 3 sale or whatever they had. And I got home and I was like looking at it and I was like, well, wait a minute, maybe I had that Funko Pop already. Which is what prompted me to but to download that Funko Pop app where you kept track of all your Funko Pops and everything. So then I did that, and then I looked at it, and then I went through my wish list, and I was like, I started clicking all the Funko Pops I would want to get, and it's when I realized that the Captain America from Endgame was the exact same one from Infinity War. The only difference was they changed the suit. They put on the time suit. And I was like, I'm done. I'm done.
But here's the thing, though. They're not the first company. I mean, I know they're not.
Hasbro does it too. Like they like that.
Well, Hasbro, McFarlane.
Yeah. I mean, like every single Joe. Well, okay, so Joe's may be different because they have different, but the body's the same. Like they have the body for the male, the body for the female, and they just repaint it and add the accessories. Same thing with Marvel Legends. They have one for male and one for female, and Hasbro, Transformers do the same thing. They have hey, they did REC, and then they did, blah 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 blah. They repaints. Repaints is what they call it.
Again, through the Watching Robo's Weekly Rewind, he'll point out whatever, doesn't matter what the figure is. Basically, I know for a lot of the Marvel Legends female figures, it was always the Shriek body repainted. Some accessories, something here or there added to make it different because that's how it goes.
Right.
Because that's how
Yeah, I mean, like they say like
you have to get used out of the mold. You can't just like, all right, we got this one figure. Well, because let's face it, like how many Venoms can you put out on the same large body that
I mean, with Venom, it comes down to just like paint deco at that point because you could have. I mean, well, I guess the physique of say like Agent Venom. And like, I almost said Brock Lesnar, Eddie Brock, Venom are different, right?
Yeah.
Or even like, or definitely have.
I believe
and then you definitely have, because like, who do you have that was Venom other than they actually use the name? Well, I mean, actually use the name Venom. Like would be obviously the original Venom, and then you have Flash Thompson, and then Mary Jane, right? She was Venom at one point too, right? And then you had his wife or whatever was Venom or Lady Venom or whatever.
Sorry, I was staring at some women that were far away.
But you know what I'm talking about, though, right? Like there's been characters that have used the name Venom. Is it not 65? Or did it go up because it's 65?
Oh, I'd say it might have been there because they might have taken them down. Was
yeah. Anyways, but like they usually like the repaints is where they start making money. Like I personally like unless I have investment in the character, like I'm not buying the repaint. But you can say the same thing for like the Dodson brothers. Prowl, Smokescreen, is it Red Alert?
Oh wait,
they're the same.
No, sorry. No, in my head I was thinking Red Alert was the fire truck. But
no, that would be. I mean, he has been a fire truck in some iterations. You would have it is 65. You have all of the Seekers, same build, different head sculpts. You know, you have the Conehead. You have the Conehead. They're all the same old.
Yes,
and you have technically. Is there another one? There's another set, right? That's all the same mold. Clip Jumper and Bumblebee are the same mold. Slightly different.
However, you do have, was it Sunstreaker?
Sunstreaker,
and then there's the red one.
Blue Streak,
Sideswipe?
Or the same mold.
No, Blue Streak
same
is
card.
Prowl. Same Prowl.
Oh, Prowl. Yeah. So they must be Smokescreen. No, it's Smokescreen, Prowl, and no, Red Alert is with Sunstreaker.
Well, you had Brawn.
It's the one. It's the ones where the car mode chest is flat, and then there's the one where the car mode is like upward. So like Prowl and Smokescreen, and
yeah, because
the chest is out, where the vehicle front of the vehicle's upwards, whereas like Sunstreaker, and I think Red Alert, it's down. I could be wrong. Someone will correct me.
I'm sure they will.
I'm sure they will. But yeah, like for me, and I'll be honest with you, like with Hasbro, with Hasbro, like I'd like right now my Studio Series figures aren't displayed, and that's kind of like a dilemma that I have right now, because I do have. I've been like in this thing like, I have to display everything, but then I just realized that I don't have to display everything. You know what I mean? You have to point out. I keep forgetting it's not here. Right?
I said the Wolves, they don't go until 10:30, so there's.
But anyways, do I need to get over?
No.
But anyways, it's just interesting to me because would I like a Skywarp? Yes. Which is ironic because the only Masterpiece Seeker that I have is actually Thundercracker.
Okay. What the fuck is my location? It's Kansas fucking City. I'm not even anywhere near there.
Anyways, so I thought the Thundercracker mold was good. My problem is the price. They've raised the prices across the board. And what's interesting, I can understand Marvel Legends and Black Series being expensive because they have licensing they have to pay, right? But they own Transformers, they own G.I. Joe, and I get it. G.I. Joe, I perhaps off the G.I. They actually come with a lot of accessories
because Hasbro,
because they own the rights, they don't have to pay licensing.
They own that IP, so
right. But the same thing with Transformers. They own the rights. They don't have to pay.
I believe that's with Takara.
Nope, Hasbro owns Transformers. Takara, they don't have to pay. They're partnered with Takara. They don't have to pay. They don't have to pay anything to Takara. Not that I'm aware of. It's right here.
We don't want to go to fucking Nebraska, okay?
No, we don't.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be kind of cool to go down to where I used to live and get a shot of the house we used to live in and where my grandpa died.
Right.
But I'm sure the people who have bought it know.
Me, what are you doing? This is my house.
Well, shit. We got Barnes Noble don't even open until 11.
Really?
The mall opens at noon. Oh, what the fuck am I saying? We're going to Target first. Super Target, that is.
It's just a regular Target that's just bigger than most Targets.
It has a grocery side on it.
So does every other Target.
Yeah, not as fuck big as this Super Target. You shut up, you don't know.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. But
remember, for those playing Pokemon Go, make sure you hit a stop at a spin and gym or a stop at a local Target. Because you get some kind of research for some crap.
Oh yeah, because they're doing some kind of special.
Yeah, I told you about it.
Just because I don't know when I'm going to post this up, so just for clarification, it would be the week of May 2nd, or the first week of May.
Well, basically, I think it runs through sometime beginning middle of June.
Oh, so it's gotta be because I know Target's doing some kind of like a Pokemon shop.
Because I didn't send pictures, but I told no.
Anyways, but yeah, isn't today community?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, is there anything else you want to? Anything else?
I don't know. Go with your favorite sports team.
Your favorite sports team.
I don't do sports, bro.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I watched the Raiders for the first couple of games, and they're gonna lose the rest of the season. And I forget. And then I just stopped watching because then I just checked.
Well, I don't really think the Raiders are playing right now.
No, nobody's playing right now. But I'm just saying that when they're playing, that's the only thing.
So that's Nebraska. That's South Sioux City.
Yeah.
I actually had to go to middle school there.
I was it's like try to watch wrestling, and it's like it's on 50 different channels. And I'm just like, and then I find out like, oh, but if you're not in the United States, it's all on Netflix.
No, it's on. Well, I'm bringing Raw is on, and evidently they have all of the. I don't know, except for maybe the one that happened a few weeks ago, but they have all the WrestleManias on there now too.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was like, oh, WrestleMania. It was a couple weeks ago. Now I was like, back.
You know, if I'm wrong, you can get it out of the lane, but yeah.
So I gotta be in this lane.
No. You know what? That's what I keep remembering is this lane still goes up to where we want to go, but we want to stay in this lane. This lane is the one that actually goes to towards South Sioux City.
Okay.
Yeah, for all the fucking times we've been down here, like,
I can never remember. I always forget.
Well, you would think that. Like,
I would just remembering it, you know.
I remember.
I sometimes forget where I'm going at all. Like shit.
That happened a couple weeks ago. I was like,
I've been there for 12 years.
It was a Saturday morning getting off work. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go get some gas. And then I turned to the guy, fuck it, whatever, I can get gas later. Like, later, I ended up sleeping most of the day.
So, yeah. But yeah, like, there's really, like, the only, like, right now, like...
Holy fuck, you got the heat on in there?
No, but I have the air on.
I don't want you to fucking turn the heat on.
No, I had the air, like, I don't have the heat on. I didn't have anything on.
Okay.
I wasn't going to run it.
Okay, fuck it, now we want to... we don't want this lane. We want the lane that the car turned into.
Okay, I get back over.
There you go. Again, strangely enough, I think we were talking about with our buddy Scotty Do.
Scotty Do Reviews. Shout out to Scotty Do Reviews, who has made no videos yet.
As far as we know, he might have line.
Oh no, I found his
Oh,
channel.
did you? Well, I don't. I just like look at my subscription.
He has 0 subscribers.
You know, we should fix that. And subscribe. He's got 2 subscribers. Anyways,
I think it's him. There's nothing on it.
Anyway, we was discussing the only thing in Sioux City which doesn't exist anymore. I don't know how long, but there was a place called James Drug that my mom used to work at. She worked in the Hallmark section, which is how I got my shitload of Hallmark ornaments. And she told me that there was a series called Here Comes Santa Claus, and I have every one in that series except for the very first one, because I think it came out the year I was born, which was a long ass time ago, which I don't think there's people that do, but whatever. Anyways, she worked in there, and like it was like back in the maybe early-ish 80s, back when the VCRs came in big old suitcases.
Oh my god.
Yes, and they were the ones with the top mount where you push the button in the top. Remember, we're going to do the one where it takes us to...
Oh, right.
The other one, we just have to remember to...
Right.
No, take the...
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll.
But,
there's Starfighter Comics over there. They're not open yet. They don't open until noon on Sunday. I mean, they know the 2 fans are in town. They have to know.
Probably should have left a little later, but it's okay.
Anyways, they had opened up a small, back in the day, video part where you had... Much like, I think, basically where it had, like, these ones came in, like, brown cases and had, like, a little paper and, like, a plastic that had the type of movie, you know.
Yeah.
And anyways, they had one, and then, like, after a while, it was, like, ones where they had several copies of, like, the big hits, like, you know, they used to do. And then after a while, it dropped down to a few. You want to go right instead of the other way like we did last time. See?
This way.
There it is, bullseye.
Yep. So it's this one right here. Yep.
And
now it's coming back to me.
Anyways, we had to go visit a church. We said, well, this is a really cool church. Oh, we should probably get out of here. This wasn't the church we were talking about.
Yeah.
Anyways, so for my older sister's birthday, because she was a huge Top Gun fan, loved Tom Cruise and all that stuff, bald when Goose died. Spoilers if you haven't watched the original. And if you haven't watched the original by now, that's your fault, not mine. Anyways, so for her birthday one year, my mom had bought her own video set of, so, there's my story from like that place that no longer exists.
Interesting. Well,
and we're also going to try the K-pop Demon Hunter McDonald meal. Just